Hello and welcome to Spine and Midline Health Flow. This morning, if you would like to play some music, I have a couple of playlists on Spotify or on Apple. They're both the same, so it just depends on what streaming service you have. But if there's any music that you'd like to play on your own or just practice in silence, that's okay as well. So to get started, we're going to be in a seat. If you have a blanket or something to sit up on top of, I highly recommend that you do, just because it helps your spine to be nice and tall in your seat. You can sit cross-legged, legs in front, or you can sit in a low kneeling position. Once you get into your seat, just start to settle in. Today's practice is going to be focused on the low back. We've been working really hard on our low backs. So we're going to give our low back some release. We're going to do a little bit of strengthening and some release for the back today. So hands can be in your lap, palms down for grounding, if that's what you would like to do today, or palms up to receive anything that is coming your way. And if it feels okay to close your eyes, please do. Otherwise, you can just find a softened gaze. Arrive here. Notice the sounds that you hear. Notice the temperature of the space. Notice your body in contact with the floor and how you are being supported. You're going to hear my dogs barking in the background. Maybe you hear other sounds like that in your own home, your own pets or kids. And then start to bring your awareness to your breath, taking a deep breath in and exhaling fully. Another deep breath in, exhaling fully. On this next one, I really want you to think about sending the breath all the way to the belly. So bring one hand to your belly, the other to your heart. Take a deep breath in all the way to your belly. And exhale fully with a sigh. Let the shoulders drop and release. Last one. Inhale fully all the way to the belly. Exhale fully. We also use the breath in this practice to support the spine. And so really think about that today as you are moving. To start off, we're going to gently bat the eyes open if they're closed. And take that blanket or whatever is underneath you and set it off to the side. Come onto all fours. Hands are underneath your shoulders. Your knees are underneath your hips. Your toes are untucked. Open your hands really wide. Press into all 5 fingers of each hand. And then actively press away from the floor so that your shoulder blades are opening. And tuck your belly button into your spine. Imagine that your belly button wants to come up, up, up into your spine. And that's going to give you a nice solid core foundation. On the inhale, drop your belly button, look forward, let your chest shine through between the arms. And on the exhale, round the belly, bring your chin to your chest. Inhale, drop the belly button, look forward. Exhale, round through the spine, chin to chest. Inhale, drop the belly, look forward. Exhale, bring that chin to the chest, around the spine. Come back to neutral spine. So you've got a nice, flat, neutral spine here. Shift your hips from side to side. Just notice all the feelings you're feeling. Notice any pops and cracks that you're having. Now take some hip circles. Start to send that left hip to the side, then to the back, towards the heel, then shift the weight over to the right hip, and then shift your weight forward. Go in that direction about 3 times, very slowly and intentionally. Whew. If you feel any pain during today's practice, do not do that pose. Stop and take care of yourself. All right, shift your weight now towards the right. And then shift that hip back towards the right heel. Then over to the left heel. Then forward again. Now going in those hip circles in this way. All right, coming back to a neutral spine, really strong active shoulders. So you're pressing away from the floor. You're pressing into all 5 fingers of each hand. It's like you're creating a suction cup with your hands here. And from here, we're going to make sure that our neck is neutral as well. So if your chin is really tucked into your chest, I want you to lift your gaze. And if you're looking forward, I want you to lower your gaze. You're going to try to make a triangle with your gaze. So where your hands are is the base of the triangle. And you're going to gaze a little bit past your hands towards the middle of your hands, okay? From here, lift your right hand, hold. Try to keep your weight distributed evenly. Maybe really think about pressing into your right knee. And then lower that hand down. Now lift the left hand. Think about pressing into that left knee, left foot. Keep the weight distributed evenly here. Lower back down. Lift the right leg back towards the back of the room. Flex the foot so that your ankle is flexed, your toes are pointed down. Continue actively pressing away from the floor. Shifting your weight so that you are evenly positioned. Lower back down. Left leg now lifts, squeeze the glutes, squeeze the hamstrings. I know we've been working them hard. And then flex the foot, toes are pointed down. Press away from the floor. And lower that leg back down. We're going to start putting this together. Now the right hand and left leg will lift at the same time. On your inhale, lift both. Foot is flexed. You're going to keep that glute and hamstring really tight. Keep that tension. Keep that belly button up into the spine. Keep your gaze where it's at. And only have tension in your core here and in your leg and in your arm, not in your face. You're not doing this with your face. And lower back down. Let's shift to the other side now. Lifting your left hand, right leg, sending that leg back, back, back. Foot is flexed. You've got those toes pointed to the floor. Press away from the floor so that your shoulders are working here. And lower back down. Now we're going to take the big toes together, widen the knees, send the hips back towards the heels, and extend the arms long. Forehead comes down to the mat or a blanket or a block, whatever you've got. Hold it here for 2 breaths. Then bring the palms together and bend at the elbows to bring the hands behind your head. A little tricep stretch here, lengthening through the back of the arms. Lower the hands back down. Walk the hands over to the right. Think about pressing away from your body with your right hand, but pulling the left hand into the body. That's going to lengthen through the left side of your body. Relax through your face. Relax through your feet. Walk your hands over towards the left this time. Now you're thinking about pulling your right hand into the body as you push your left hand away. It's going to exaggerate that lengthening sensation on the right side of your body. And then come back to the center. One more deep breath in child's pose. Come back to all fours. Tabletop position, hands underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips. Widen your fingers like starfish. Press into all 5 fingers. Push away from the floor. Belly button up into the spine. We're going to do the spinal balance again. Right arm, left leg lifts. Engage, so really squeeze your butt, squeeze your hamstrings, flex the foot. Point those fingers away from the heels. And lower back down. Let's do the other side. Left hand, right foot. Extend that leg long behind you. Press that heel towards the back of the room. Press those fingers away on the other direction. Engage the belly button by bringing that belly button up into the spine. Squeeze your glutes. Squeeze your hamstrings. And lower back down. Send your hips back towards your heels. Widen your knees. Big toes touch. All right, very quick breath here. And then come back to a tabletop position. Now, being careful with your low back here, we're going into a puppy pose. So you're going to notice how my hands are underneath my shoulders. I'm going to walk my hands one handprint forward and then another handprint forward. And I'm going to start to lower myself slowly, just like this. Another handprint forward until you can no longer go. And notice how the hips stay right above the knees. They're not moving forward. They're not shifting. Only my chest is starting to melt down towards the floor. Continue to let those palms fall forward as far as it allows you to go. Maybe your forehead comes to the floor. Maybe your chest comes to the floor. You're going to feel the lengthening through the front of the body into the abs here, the chest, a little back bend, a little back extension. And then walk the hands in very slowly, coming back to all fours. Once you're here, round the spine. Bring that belly button into your spine as you bring the chin to the chest. And then once again, walk your hands forward, coming back into that puppy pose. Like a little puppy who's about to play. You know what they look like. They're super cute. I love when my dogs do this. It's the cutest. And then walk your hands back in. From this tabletop position, we're going to raise the right arm to the sky, taking a twist in the spine, gazing up at your hand. And on the exhale, thread the needle, bring that arm in. We're going to flow through this one so that shoulder comes down. Then you press into that left hand as you raise that right arm again, taking a twist in the spine. Exhale, bring that hand into the space between the left arm and leg. Lower the right shoulder down. Inhale, lift the arm again, twist. Last one, exhale, bring that arm through, hold it here this time. Let that shoulder come down. Left arm can stay where it's at, or it can reach up towards the top of your mat, or you can wrap that left arm behind your back for a small bind. If you are opting for the arm behind you, think about opening up through the shoulder. So you're pressing that left shoulder towards the ceiling. And then bring that left hand, press it into the floor in front of you. So press that hand in front of your face, then gently lift that right arm back up towards the sky. And then return to a tabletop position. Let's do this again on the other side. Inhale, lift the left arm up. Exhale, thread the needle, shoulder down to the floor. Inhale, press in the right hand, lift the left arm to the sky. Exhale, thread the needle. Inhale, lift the arm up to the sky. Exhale, thread the needle, lower that left shoulder, hold it here. Right hand can stay where it's at, or it can reach towards the top of the mat. Or you can take that right hand, put it behind your back. Think about externally rotating the shoulder. That means you're going to roll that shoulder so that you're pointing the shoulder now up towards the ceiling, opening up your chest. On your last breath, you're going to take that right arm, reach it back up to the sky, lower it back down if it's behind you. If it's in front of you, just bring that palm to the front of your face, press into the right hand, left arm reaches up to the sky, and lower back down to tabletop. Now let's shift forward and back slightly, getting into the wrist. So forward and back in your tabletop. Now shift your hand position. Send the fingers to the sides of your mat, and then send your weight from side to side, shifting right and left. Now point those fingers in towards you, palm down. You might just stay here. If you're able to shift back slightly, just hold it here for a moment and then shift forward. One more shift a little bit back towards the heels, only as far as it allows you to go without any pain, and then forward again. Last one we're going to do is flip the palm so that the fingers are towards you, but the palm is now up towards the sky. Both hands. And then sit back very slightly, so subtly. We don't want any pain here. And then release that. Sit back on your heels. Shake it out. Whew. Shake out your shoulders. Take some shoulder circles. All right. Now we're going to tuck your toes, come into a downward facing dog. So send those hips up towards the sky, heels come down as far as they can go. Start pedaling out your dog. So lift each heel at a time, one at a time as you shift your weight from side to side. Send that head through the window of the arms towards the thighs. Chest comes towards the thighs. Then find stillness by sending those heels down as far as they go. Keep a micro bend in your hamstrings or in your knees by bending the knees slightly. We're really protecting the hamstrings by doing that. And then look up between your hands and start to gently walk your feet forward towards your hands, coming into a forward fold. Knees are really bent here. Keep that chest towards the thighs. Hands are dangling or they are on yoga blocks. Yoga blocks help raise the floor up towards you, or they just reach to the floor. Notice how this feels along the low back into the glutes and the hamstrings. We've been really working those in CrossFit, so we want to make sure that we are getting into them today. Hello, hamstrings. Say hi. I'm here. I feel you. And then just subtly notice the shift in your weight. So I want you to just shift your weight forward into the balls of the feet and shift your weight into the heels. Shift your weight forward into the balls of the feet and shift your weight into the heels. So the reason I'm doing this little practice here, shifting forward and shifting back, is to help us have bodily awareness. What does it mean when our coaches say, put your weight into the heels? You'll notice that when your weight is in the heels, it's actually distributing the weight across the entire foot. Do you notice that? Feel it. Now shift your weight into the balls of the feet. Go forward. Now shift back. See that? So that's what we want to see. We want to see the weight distributed evenly on the foot. And to do that, we shift back into the heels. Wiggle your toes. Yeah, you should be able to wiggle your toes when you do this. And then plant your toes down. Okay, grab opposite elbow with opposite hand. Sway from side to side. Nod your head yes. Shake your head no. And then very gently lower those hands back down. Start to walk the hands up the front of the legs. Rising up one vertebrae at a time. You're stacking your spine like Legos. Stack, 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 stack. You might have some cracks and pops when you do that. Come to a really tall stance here. Roll the shoulders back into these little shoulder rolls 3 times. Then forward shoulder rolls 3 times. Shake it out, shake everything out. Okay. Lift your arms up to the sky, reach high. And rainbow the arms. Oh, take it like nice big stretch, make big noises. One more time. Inhale, reach up. And exhale, reach those hands out wide. Let the shoulders drop away from the ears. Let the hands just fall to the sides. little shake here, and then come to stillness. All right, notice how you're feeling here. So in the standing position, let's take a look at the shifting of the weight. So come up into the balls of the feet. So you're shifting your weight slightly. Notice how your hips start to come forward. Your whole body tilts forward, right? And now come back into the heels. Notice how your body now comes into a nice standing posture with the weight distributed evenly. This is where we want to be for everything that we do. I want the weight in the heels. Okay. Let's widen the feet to the width of the mat. Send the toes out slightly. So the feet, the heels and the feet are outside of the hips and shoulders. So we've got a wide stance here. I'm just facing you so that you can see this. And the toes are pointed out to the opposite corners of the room, right? You may recognize this position as a sumo stance. So that's what we're doing here, a sumo stance. Now we're going to send the hips back. So it's like karate chop your hips back and down. And then come down as far as you can. You may be able to come all the way down. If the stance is too wide, bring your feet in slightly. If it's not wide enough, widen your feet. And we're going to come to the bottom of a squat here. And then from this active squat, which means that I'm trying to maintain a neutral spine, which at this point I'm so low that is not neutral. What I mean by that is there's this curvature. So I'm teaching you guys what we actually do in CrossFit. There's a curvature at the lower base of your spine, the lumbar spine. It curves the opposite way. So if you stand up, you can actually feel it. When I tell you the lumbar spine, it's right here, right above your butt. So feel that spine when you stand up. When you come down all the way and you're in this inactive squat that has zero tension at the bottom, that lumbar curvature kind of goes away. It straightens out. When we're doing CrossFit, we want to make sure we maintain that lumbar curve. So that's what we mean by an active pose. But right now we're in an inactive squat where everything is kind of just relaxed. We're not tense. And then arms can just fall where they fall. Let your head just be where it is. If you want to bring your chin to your chest, you can. That's going to give you some lengthening through the back of your spine from your neck all the way down. Or you can have a neutral gaze, so you just lift your chin slightly, gaze further than your mat. Words are hard today. Just hold it here for a moment. Your hands, your shoulders are inside of the thighs. Again, if this is causing any pain, you can use blocks and just stack them and create a little seat and just sit on the blocks. Otherwise, just let yourself just be here. What this pose does is it helps you to release that low back. I want you to think about if you're shifted forward, so if your heels are starting to lift, you can actually put a blanket under your heels to give yourself additional support. If you are able to shift your weight back into the heels, again, thinking about that weight distribution in the feet. But if you're too far down in your squat and there's no way that your heels are coming down, like I said, take those blocks or another, like a stack of blankets or something, and make a little seat for yourself so you can sit back into it. And then see if you can shift into your heels. We'll hold this here for 3 more breaths. And then start to, if you have blocks, go ahead and remove them. And Start to bring your hands behind you, guiding yourself to a seat. Ooh. Extend your legs long. Bounce out your legs. Pat your thighs. Pat your butt. Hello. Yeah, okay. And then start to guide yourself onto your back. So just walk your hands down, lowering your back, hug your knees into your chest, and roll from side to side. Massage that low back on the floor. Hello, I'm feeling it. I'm feeling that low back today. Okay, when you roll over towards your left, just stay there for a moment. So you're rolling all the way. You're resting your head on your low arm. And then your legs are bent. Now, keep that top leg bent and bring that ankle towards your hand. If you're unable to reach it, you can use something that, like a strap or resistance band or a scarf or a belt, wrap it around your foot to extend your reach, and just bring that foot in towards your butt, and then lengthen through that front of your leg, through the thigh, through your hips, hip flexor. The bottom leg can stay where it's at, bent here. Little quad stretch. You hear me say quads a lot, and sometimes I wonder, do you know what that means? That's basically the muscle of your thighs. They're a huge muscle. We use them a lot. And so we are always strengthening them and doing some stretches like this to really release it. And then release that top leg. Let that leg go long. And then bring that top leg forward with a nice long leg. So a little micro bend in the knee. And then from here, that right arm is going to open up to the other side. Your shoulder blade comes down to the ground, and you gaze over to the right hand. Little twist. And now that top leg, bend it, bring it to meet the bottom leg. Guide your knees to the center. You can use your hands to do this. So bring your hips back to the center of your mat. Hug those knees in the chest. Roll them from side to side, massaging that low back. And then let your knees fall over to the right. Let your whole body fall over to the right, actually. Let your head rest on your right arm. Then that top leg, you're going to grab the ankle or the shin, or use a strap or a belt to wrap it around the ankle or shin and bring it in towards your bum. See if you can send that knee to the opposite side of the room. So you're pointing that knee down away from the body, feeling the lengthening through the thighs into the hip flexor. So that's the front of your leg. Bottom leg stays where it's at as a little kickstand. Try not to shift your weight backwards. You don't want to fall out of this. So tilt yourself forward if you need to. And then release that top leg. Let it meet the bottom leg, and then start to extend the leg long in front of you. Hello, hamstring again. And then you're going to take that left arm, open it up to the other side, opening your body like a book. Left shoulder blade comes down to the ground, and then gaze either up at the ceiling or over towards the left hand. That top leg might be hovering off the ground. If it is and you want to support it, put a block or a blanket underneath it, or just let it hover. It might be touching, who knows? But try to keep it as long as you can here. Maybe that bottom leg, you can shift it a little bit so that it's a little kickstand that works for you here. But it's important that you keep your shoulder blades down on the ground. So that top leg, support it as needed in order for you to have that upper body planted. And just a reminder, if you feel any pain, any tingling, any numbing, just back out of it. Back out of this pose. Don't do it. Do something else. Make the twist less intense by maybe you just come onto your back and twist your knees over slightly to the right or to the left. Gently guide your knees to the center. So that top leg, bend it, bring it in. Use your hands to guide those knees, bringing your low back flat on the floor. Knees stay bent for a moment here. Bring those heels as far as you can towards your bum. Flat feet on the ground, hands down by the sides. We're going to just lift the hips up towards the ceiling into a glute bridge. So inhale, lift your hips. Squeeze your butt, squeeze the hamstrings. Imagine you're holding something between your knees. You're trying to hold it there. And then very gently lower back down one vertebrae at a time. Slow descent. Last thing to come down is your tailbone, your sacrum, the base of your spine. All right. Let yourself rest here. Extend the legs long if that's comfortable for you. Otherwise, if that's not comfortable, you can leave the knees bent as they are. You can, here's another option. Widen your feet to the width of the mat. Bring your knees together. That's a more neutral position for your low back. Sometimes when we extend our legs long, flat on our backs, it can be hard on our low back. So this is a great option as well to just release. And then whichever variation you chose, once you're there, close the eyes or a softened gaze and let yourself breathe. Melt into the floor. We'll take a couple more breaths here. And then wherever you are, wiggle your fingers and your toes. If your legs are bent, extend them long in front of you. Reach your arms up overhead, taking a nice long good morning stretch. And then roll onto your side, giving yourself gratitude for this practice. Press into your hands. Gently guide yourself to a seat. Hands can be in your lap or at your heart. Thank you so much for sharing your practice with me. The light in me loves and honors the light in you. Namaste.